Aloha Sagittarius, welcome to your tarot reading for the week of April 13th through the 19th. We're going to go ahead and dive right in. If you want to get a personal tarot reading or if you want to join us over on Patreon, all of that information is down in the description box below. Other than that, we're going to get started. We're going to start with the overall vibe and theme of the week. We'll move into any potential obstacles or challenges. We'll see how to overcome those challenges or obstacles, and then we'll get any extra messages that universe and spirit might have for you this week. We are going to start with some love oracles, and then we'll move into a couple of general oracles before we move into our tarot deck. So let's go ahead and see what's happening in terms of love, relationships, and emotions this week for all of you Sagittarius friends. What do we got going on? We have our card here. We have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps that you are guided to take. This is making a little bit of extra effort this week when it comes to emotions, happiness, fulfillment, whether this is in your relationship to yourself, so doing a little extra self-love and self-care this week. Maybe this is in your relationship with your romantic partner or doing a little extra step there. Maybe this is just with your friends and your family reaching out and saying, hey, do you want to grab a cup of coffee? This is just making a little bit of an extra effort this week when it comes to love, emotions, and fulfillment. It will end up paying off by the end of the week, okay? So don't be afraid to make that extra effort this week, Sagittarius. Let's move over to our general oracles and see what can be added to the overall vibe this week. We have speaker. You know what? Leo just had this card as well. So maybe you're dealing with a Leo this week, but we have speaker. Your life purpose involves your skill of variation. Also too, just speaking your truth this week, not being afraid to say what's on your mind. If there's something here that needs to be said, make the extra effort to say it. Maybe some of you want to speak how grateful you are to your friends or your family or your communities. Don't be afraid to say that. The speaker card also just represents sharing your story. Sometimes with sharing your story, this is like maybe starting a podcast, maybe we're writing poetry, maybe we're just journaling. But using our voice and using our words in general will be very beneficial for you this week, Sagittarius. So speaking your truth and making an extra effort this week when it comes to your connections, maybe when it comes to communicating might be your big theme for the week as well. Let's move into our tarot deck. I want to go ahead and see what the overall theme and energy is with our tarot cards. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reversal. Now, when we see reversals come out in a tarot reading, it can represent something that has already happened, or there could be a slight challenge or obstacle that is preventing us from stepping into this energy in the upright position. I do feel like it's a challenge or obstacle this week for you, Sagittarius, to take a step back and just enjoy all of the fruits of your labor. The Seven of Pentacles is very much that energy of you planted all the seeds, you've done all the work, you watered them, you tended to them, you did all the things in your garden. Take a moment and enjoy the fruits of your labor. I think for some of you, you're overworking yourself, and that's why we are also getting that energy of make the extra effort for some self-love, self-care. Self-love and self-care also include rest. It includes taking a moment and hanging out with your friends. It includes taking an extra time to call up your bestie and just shoot the shit, right? Allow yourself to enjoy the fruits of your labor this week. The Seven of Pentacles is very much that energy. Take a step back. Not everything needs your attention this week. You've done a very good job of building your own foundation. Now take a moment for yourself. Take a moment to breathe and enjoy the fruits of those labors. I want to go ahead and move into any potential obstacles or challenges this week. We do have the Queen of Wands in reversal. This is your elemental queen. Depending on if you're watching sun, moon, or rising, if it's your sun sign, this is your elemental queen here. But the Queen of Wands is the queen of fire energy. This fire energy is action-based. It's exciting. It's passionate. She's motivated and confident and determined. And maybe you're having a hard time stepping into that this week. I feel like the overall theme for you already, or just the overall message this week, Sagittarius, is to make the extra effort for yourself. Make the extra effort to pour into your own cups this week. More than likely, you have been there for everybody else. You're showing up for your friends. You're showing up for your family. You show up for your job and your coworkers and everybody else. This week is time to show up for you. Show up for you this week, Sagittarius. The Queen of Wands in the upright, she is very confident. She's action-based. She knows what she wants, and she's really heading towards that. She's making these action-based movements to do so. She's motivated, she's determined, and she's excited. I think one of the biggest energies when it comes to the Queen of Wands is excitement. Excitement and passion really go hand in hand. And when it comes to making an extra effort this week, maybe we need to learn how to be excited for ourselves, for our own accomplishments, for our own victories. Because when I see her in reversal, I see this card of having a hard time taking a step back and enjoying all of the fruits of our labor. There is this energy of being able to just say, you know what, maybe I haven't been there for myself the way that I have been for everybody else, okay? Take that extra time for you this week. How can we overcome this? I want to move into the how can we overcome this message and sort of key, because I think the big energy here for you this week, Sagittarius, is taking the same amount of energy and effort that you put into everything else and everybody else into yourself. You have the devil in reversal, okay? Breaking the cycle. Breaking the cycle. I actually almost want to challenge all of you Sagittarius to take a moment and reevaluate what your day-to-day routine looks like. Give yourself an extra 5 minutes just for you in the morning. Whether that's going to be listening to your favorite song, whether that's going to be just slowing down and enjoying your morning coffee. Maybe it's nourishing your soul with a piece of fruit, okay? Give yourself 5 extra minutes in the morning to just decompress, take a couple of deep breaths, and prepare for your day. I want you to also take an extra 5 minutes at nighttime just for yourself. Turn off your phone, relax, maybe take a moment to journal, reflect on everything for the day, do an extra step in your self-care routine at nighttime. And if you do not have a self-care routine at nighttime, Sagittarius, this is the week that you're gonna learn one and put it into practice, okay? The devil in the upright is the card of toxicity. This could be addictions. This could be codependency. This could be relationships in your life that are draining you, that are holding you back. This being in reversal is the answer this week, right? This is how do we overcome the energy and challenges of not being excited or passionate, confident for ourselves, the same way that we are for everybody else. That answer, breaking the cycle. We're breaking the cycle. We are moving away from the toxic day-to-day routines that maybe we've been in. And I'm not saying you're toxic. I'm saying that maybe it's toxic that you don't have 5 minutes for yourself. Maybe it's toxic that you don't have the extra energy at the end of the day to make the extra effort for you. This week, you're being called to make the extra effort to speak up and say, no, I need time for me. Boundaries, right? Which is very interesting because Leo has a very similar reading to this. If you have Leo in your chart, I highly recommend going and watching the Leo reading for this week as well, okay? And maybe you're dealing with a Leo, all right? But use your voice and say, no, actually, I'm done for the day. Okay, use your voice and say, I can't take anything else on this week. Okay, I need to choose for me. I need to choose for me. I need to show up for me the same way that I show up for everybody else this week. Okay, let's get any extra messages that universe and spirit have for you, Sagittarius. Okay, what else do we need to know for Sagittarius this week? This week is all about you showing up for you. All right, you show up for you this week. 9 of Cups in reversal. The things that you want. The big dreams, the wishes, the goals, those things that you want can be fulfilled. You just got to get very clear on what that looks like. When was the last time you were able to take a moment for yourself and visualize what your next goals are? It's probably been a while, okay? Here's the thing. The 9 of Cups in the upright is like the card of your wishes being granted and fulfilled, but you have to know what it looks like. This in reversal tells me you have not taken enough time recently to ask yourself, what do I want? What does success look like for me? What does love look like for me? If I could wake up tomorrow and have my dream life, what does that mean? What does it look like? Because what success and all those things look like for you is different than what it looks like for me. And it is constantly shifting. It is constantly changing. Our energy of the 10 of Pentacles, that ultimate happiness that we have, the 10 of Cups, we achieve that and then we're ready for something different. We want more. It evolves, right? Take a moment and ask yourself, what does that look like for you this week? This week is all about you, Sagittarius, showing up for you, figuring out what does your future look like? What is your ideal vision of your future look like? How can we start stepping away from things that are not in alignment with that? How can we speak up and say, no, this is not for me. I'm choosing myself this week. And how can we get confident, excited, and passionate about the next steps, okay? Take a moment for yourself this week, Sagittarius. You deserve it. You put in a lot of hard work already. Enjoy the fruits of your labor and take that extra moment to make extra effort for your own self-love and self-care this week, okay? I really appreciate you being here. If you're still watching this video, consider giving it a like. I really appreciate you being here. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel. I'm posting regularly over here. And if you would like to get a personal tarot reading with me, you can always go to themagicsiren.com. We also have all kinds of other stuff going on there. We have free weekly newsletters. We have the Siren Star Report. There's so many things going on there, so check that out. It's all in the description box below. I will let you get back to your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again soon. Aloha.